I'm proud to announce a collection of essential staples that will be predictably 30% cheaper at all 5 of our city-run grocery stores. This core set of goods will include all fresh produce, meat, and seafood, along with 20 other essential items like cheese, milk, and bread. Here's how it will work. Once a month, our 5 city-run grocery stores will set prices for this core set of goods at 30% below typical retail prices. No exceptions, no gimmicks. The savings will last for the entire month. That means no weekly fluctuations nor sticker shock at the checkout line. Not for our seniors living on fixed incomes, nor for the parents who rely on a regular supply of apple slices to keep toddler tantrums at bay. Now, can we all see this incredible example of produce in my hand? Now you will see these plantains here, so for anyone wondering how much these beautiful plantains might cost, you can use this QR code or head to grocery.com.
Mamdani! Remove Mamdani! Remove Mamdani! Remove Mamdani! Remove Mamdani!
Mayor Zoran Mamdani pushing forward with his plan for municipal-owned grocery stores. The mayor promising the shops will offer deep discounts on fresh fruits and vegetables, along with other staples like milk and meat. But there are still concerns about the millions he'll spend on this program and if it could hurt a handful of bodegas in the area, particularly those in the outer boroughs. Now let's bring in political reporter Henry Rossoff for more on this story. Affordability, Henry, we know everyone is talking about, but surviving in this economy is another concern.
Yeah, I mean, and this was the campaign promise from Mayor Zoran Mamdani that a lot of people were skeptical of and were wondering if he could pull it off and if it made sense. Well, today we got a lot more details about him pushing forward with this, including which foods would be discounted at the 5 grocery stores, 1 in each borough across the city. But don't misunderstand, this plan continues to face a lot of criticism.
For anyone wondering how much these beautiful plantains might cost, you can use this QR code.
With some showmanship, Mayor Zoran Mamdani announced that fresh produce and other important staples at his government-supported grocery stores would be 30% off the market price, recalibrated monthly.
No exceptions, no gimmicks. The savings will last for the entire month.
The first of the stores is expected to open next year, with the city within the last few days officially beginning the bidding process for grocery store operators to get involved. New York City is promising to help by building out each location, along with helping with branding and marketing, and it will cover all rent and property taxes. In return, those running grocery stores will be required to provide the discount food, along with high-paying jobs that include full benefits for workers. I asked why not use all that money and effort to just support established food programs in the city.
We see in this city an opportunity to take an all-of-the-above approach. We are going to continue to work with incredible partners like the ones that we're here with today, as well as ensure that food pantries across the 5 boroughs can flourish.
But even at the mayor's announcement in East New York, members of the local community board were skeptical this will make a difference.
This is it's a drop in the bucket to what it is that we need. There's problems that are not being addressed: housing, like he's mentioned, education.
And there remains concerns that mom and pop bodegas will not be able to compete with these stores. The city is attempting to offset some of that by not allowing government-run grocers to sell hot food, alcohol, and cigarettes, where smaller corner stores make most of their money.
Places like this are the lifeblood of our community, and at the end of the day, if we don't keep them open, we're giving into the source of capitalism that's destroying our community as a whole.
Locations both in Manhattan and in the Bronx have been selected. They're still working on the city that is selecting locations for Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. I know you've covered this, Jay. You were over when they announced the Manhattan location.
Absolutely. How real are the concerns among these mom and pop bodega owners?
They're very real. I mean, I spoke with the bodega owner for the shop. We just interviewed that customer outside you saw at the end of the story there, and he spoke with me off camera, and he said, listen, them leaving hot food, alcohol, cigarettes, lotto alone is important. Those are good margins for us.
Not nothing.
But devils are in the details here. If they drop this in between 3 popular bodegas, it's gonna be a hit no matter how you slice it. So if they put them truly far away, I think some of these owners are like, that's okay, but where are these locations? That's why these 3 missing locations, that's important information.
Mamdani is the mini Ayatollah. Watch this.
We are going to freeze the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants and use every resource at our disposal to build housing for everyone who needs it.
دلخوش نباشید که مسکن فقط میسازیم، آب و برق را مجانی میکنیم برای طبقه مستمند.
We are going to eliminate the fare on every single bus line.
اتوبوس را مجانی میکنیم برای طبقه مستمند.
We will make our city one where every person who calls it home can live a dignified life.
شما را به مقام انسانیت میرسانیم.
All right, so Zoran Mamdani is basically saying the same lines as this guy did. And what was the result? What were some of the horrible things that this guy did when he was in power? He ordered the 1988 mass execution of political prisoners. They executed thousands of political prisoners who refused to denounce their beliefs. They were hanged in groups, directed large-scale executions of political opponents after the 1979 revolution. Reports document torture, sexual violence, and killings. He also issued this in 1989, which ordered Muslims worldwide to kill the author of the Satanic Verses because he said it was blasphemy. Of course, they persecuted all other religious minorities, so this is going to be us in America. And then we have the Sharia law stuff with severe punishments for dissent, women, and moral crimes.
There hasn't been a place where this has worked successfully. Right now in the country, and I had to look it up real quick, there is one government-ran grocery store that's been around. It's been around since 2013. It's still operating. It's out in Kansas. It is ran by the city government, but if you know anything about St. Paul, Kansas, it's a small town. That is what they consider as the strongest success. Other than that, there are 5 others that have been unsuccessful. The Erie Market out in Kansas City, the Baldwin Market out in Baldwin, Florida, the Sunfresh out in Kansas City, the Caney Market out in Kansas City, in Kansas, and the Azalea Fresh Market out in Atlanta. It opened in 2025. It's still going, but it's not going that well right now. The other 4 that I mentioned, they've pretty much closed. With one of them, the city spent $29 million on, and it's still closed. It doesn't work. And in a place like New York City, which was supposed to be the capitalist bastion of America, to have something like this open up, and they think that this is going to work. Unfortunately, you got a lot of young people out there who think that this is going to work, that they think that this is a good thing, and they think that liberalism is good. You see the examples, not just here in our country, but all around the world. You know what I'm saying? You see the examples of it not actually working. How much money do y'all think they're going to spend? I think they're already over budget on one store, and he's talking about opening up 4 others. Sheesh, the 30% savings, but what is it going to cost the city to do this when it's all said and done?
First of all, welcome to what communism looks like in real time. So let's go. The first job of the communist is always price setting, always to set the price. Why? Because setting the price does what you need it to do. And what you need it to do is never what you think. Mamdani has come out and said that these grocery stores, I believe it's going to be one in each of the boroughs, is supposed to be able to provide a low-cost option for people in underserved communities. That is not what these stores are designed to do. They already know the stores will fail. They already know this because he's offering a 30% discount for an entire month. He's not going to be able to do that for any length of time because the growers can't afford to give him the product at 30% less. So, okay, maybe then he'll subsidize the grower and say, hey, we need this product. We'll subsidize you at full price. And then we, the city, will take the 30% hit to give it to the customer. There's only going to be so long you can do that you can lose 30% each month in 5 stories across the city. How long will you be able to do that? It's not, they already know this is going to fail. This is not designed to provide food to disadvantaged people at low cost. What this is designed to do is to run those private bodegas out of the market. That's the whole purpose, is to get rid of the private property. The whole point is to get rid of them. They only need the store to be around long enough for those businesses to close. And once they're gone, once those businesses are gone, they'll tell you, we couldn't do it. We ran out of money just like they did everywhere else
Right.
that
That's
they
right.
have done these grocery stores, just like they did with Affordable Care Act, just like they do when they do government sponsored housing. It is never, ever. Allegedly, we commandeered, as a federal government, commandeered 1/6 of the whole private economy in taking over healthcare. And what did we do? We ran healthcare businesses out of the market, consolidated behind the few, and drove the price up. That is the only purpose of doing this. It is to get rid of the many grocery options you currently have. And as soon as they do that, this store will fail. New York bodegas are the home and the pride of the chopped cheese. New Yorkers, you're about to lose the chopped cheese sandwich if y'all don't get on top of this thing. You better save the chopped cheese, because these grocery stores are going to get rid of your ability to go get a $5 chopped cheese sandwich in the back of these bodegas. That is the point and the intent. You, honey, these are wolves and I don't even know if they're in sheep's clothing. Wolves with beards.
They're
I
wolf
don't know
clothing.
what they're wearing nowadays. But you have to understand, when they are proposing these subsidized options, the subsidy is never, ever for the people. It is always to penalize the private property and the profit in the private market.
I don't think people understand what they mean by when they say subsidize. That means that you're paying for it. The taxpayers, you're going to pay for it. They try to make it seem like, the government to pay for it. No. You're going to pay for it, because they're about to raise the taxes. They've already raised the taxes. And once all the millionaires and the billionaires, they're already dipped out. The millionaires are rolling out. And now they're going to pass that on to the middle class. And before you know it, it's just going to be a failed city full of people that have no money.
They don't understand what socialism really is. They keep sticking that democratic socialism in front of that word, and democratic and socialism do not go together. But they keep telling them that it does, so they believe it. But Mamdani is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He is the left's version of Donald Trump. Okay, you knew what Donald Trump was going to do. You knew what Mamdani was going to do. He said it, and these people voted for it. Now, why, as you asked, young people want free stuff. Yeah, because they don't want to pay for it, right? Most young people don't want to really pay for anything. However, they're not realizing what they're getting themselves into, because most have never had the adversity that their grandparents and so have had. So when they think of it, it's this manufactured, you're in fascism, you're in this, you're in that. It's all manufactured, the racism, all of that. Okay. The people who claim to be the people getting the racism are actually putting it on. So at the end of the day, all of this is manufactured, but it's ushering in things like socialism and beyond. So for New York to be the hub of socialism is crazy, because it's the hub of capitalism.
Capital, yes.
And it's wow. Mamdani is actually showing what you can do with liberals, because to have New York, the height of the stock market, all of these big properties, these buildings, these national parks, all of these things that New York is, he's absolutely taking it away one by one. So it goes to show what liberalism actually does to a nation and to one of the most thriving cities. And when you look at it now, they're going to go for the property, but all of the property. Doesn't matter if it's stores, doesn't matter if it's homes, doesn't matter, whatever it is. He's literally accelerating you will own nothing and like it. He's doing what the liberals said they were going to do, but he's doing it at a faster pace. He's doing it at record speed, and they're not realizing it. Right now, they're frogs sitting in a pot. They don't realize that they're absolutely on a collision course. And when they finally do wake up and realize it, they'll already be too knee deep in. They'll have absolutely nothing. You can't do anything really in New York right now. When it comes down to it, these bodegas, I mean, I lived in New York for 4 years. These bodegas really do hold up the community. They give people jobs, they give people food at, lower. Some places that don't have stores near them, the bodegas right there.
Right
You
on
know,
the corner.
so yeah, so you would have food deserts without them. They're cornerstones of these communities. And so when I look at it, I'm just saying New York is about to be literally little Cuba, and they're about to figure out exactly what it means to be government ran. You want the government to be in your business, they're going to be in it, and you're going to pay the price for it. It'll look like worse than Cuba. It'll look like Venezuela, where you're standing in line every week for bread, where you're standing in line every week for plantains, where you're standing in line, and when you get up there, there's nothing left because we're out. They can't afford it. Nobody's paying the taxes. And now you got to eat out of garbage. They don't realize that this can happen here because they keep putting, well, it's democratic socialism. It's different. They'll realize it once they have it.
Well, here's my problem. And I think that it's good that you showed this. And I'm glad that some people seem to be aware of what's going on, but most still aren't aware of it. They still hear that word free and they go crazy. They are going to run all of the people, the family businesses, the bodegas out of business. They're going to take over their buildings, the buildings. They're going to have the complete control over all the supplies, and they're not going to care about the poor people. And the poor people who voted them in office are going to want to blame somebody else instead of themselves for voting them in office. So here's the bottom line. You had a chance to vote to prepare someone who was worthy of your vote, and you chose to vote for a socialist communist, a Muslim, and you're going to get just what you deserve. I don't know how our conservative Republicans are going to regain power, or if they're going to regain power. I'm not even hearing what they're doing to counter this mess. But I do know one thing. They need to get the message out about what's happening, how it's happening. They need to show the strategic plan of these lies and these deceivers and what's going to happen to the people, and hopefully get the people to move before it's too late. Because if something's not done right away, you better not wait until those grocery stores get built, and you better not wait until they take over everything, because then it's going to be too late. The time is now to get rid of Mamdani and all those who think like him. You can't wait until later. You got to do this now.
Well, Minister Danzel, I understand your sentiment, but I think the conservatives and the Republicans have said, you know what, y'all want it, y'all got it, and they're leaving them to their own devices. And you're seeing the companies move to the states that actually have sane policies and sane politicians. And amongst the voter bloc of, at least some sane folks that won't allow this type of stuff to go on. You're seeing the companies vote with their feet. They're voting with their dollars as well. They're getting out of there and they're moving to places that's more friendly to them. We're almost headed back to where we were, a little over 100 years ago. Where, you had, certain states, which back in the day it was the North, and the North was the states that didn't have slavery and they didn't have all these things. And the South was considered the poorer side of things. Now you see people online complaining. Most of these people that complain about their paychecks, complain about the money not going that far, those people live in these quote unquote liberal strongholds. Absolutely. And they're frustrated with the policies. They're frustrated because they're like, hey, we voted for this, but this isn't panning out the way they told us it would.
Right.
And we're starting to see a real separation in our country. You're seeing it. And that's why you have places like Florida booming, Georgia booming, Tennessee booming, Texas booming, Arkansas booming. There is a direct correlation to these people. They all have conservative values, and they're all about low taxes. They're about stopping crime. They're not about allowing the criminals to just run amok. And when you have governors, like DeSantis and the governor out in Tennessee saying, hey, I know it's crazy up there in Seattle. We're open for business. We'll take you. Eventually, what happens with the communists? Once they get their way, if you are still stuck there, they're not going to allow you to leave. That's the next step. You're going to want to leave and you can't. And the reason why you can't is they're not going to allow you to leave. You're going to be stuck there. So I suggest, hey, get out while you can. These people are crazy, and there is enough of them up there that they want to continue this.
I loved what that person wrote. Democrat liberals think they're using Islam to bring in socialism. But what really is happening is Islam is using Democrats who are useful idiots to bring in Islam. That is what they're doing.
right.
And why I'm saying that is they went to the hub, they went to New York, as y'all said, the financial, the capitalist foundation, everything, business, everything. And they went and they tested to see if they could take it over. And what people did was they let them take it over.
Yep.
They supported all of this craziness that's going on. Because I was sitting down there listening, and they said that Mamdani said he wants to open up these grocery stores. He wants discounted food, but he expects the people to get high-paying jobs with full benefits. I'm economics degree person. I don't have them degrees, but the math ain't mathing, because math can't be. Something's not mathing here. And people are actually stopping and believing this. And they're like, yes, we support this. There was something that just came out of the New York Post. It's called Mamdani's Pierre de Terre, where Mamdani just put out the list of all of these A-list celebrities, business owners, all these things, their secondary addresses, their secondary places. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is because a good portion of those people supported Mamdani because y'all were the useful idiots that he needed. Y'all were the useful idiots, and he took pleasure in all of y'all supporting his crazy. And now, because y'all thought he was your ally, because he was playing tequila with y'all, I'm so tired of trying to explain to y'all that they are playing tequila with you. So he played tequila with you. He got in.
That's right.
And then he got in, and now y'all are seeing everything fall apart. I'm not going to use the word socialism because I think socialism is just a pretty word for communism. Let's just be real.
That's exactly true.
So they try to make it sound real pretty. Like, oh, socialism. No. Let's use the word. It's communism. And that's what's happening. In 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 10, he says, for even when we were with you, we would give you this command. If anyone is not willing to work, let him not eat. It also says in Proverbs, which I love. My dad used to say this all the time. This was something that we understood how important it was to work. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief, and scarcity like an armed man. Why am I saying that? Because y'all want free. Work is free. You're supposed to work. In fact, it is, the Lord said it in Genesis that working was dignified. Like that was something that you were supposed to be proud of, that you were working. But all of y'all want free stuff. So these people are able to come in and play secure with you, take over your places because you just hear the word free and you're like, yeah, I want it. Except it is not free because y'all are going to pay for it. Just like them saying they want to get government-owned homes, like they discussed in the video. They want to own the properties. So they're going to freeze the rent. So what's going to happen when stuff breaks? Who's going to fix it? This is why they dumb down so many of y'all in school, because it's easier to control y'all because y'all don't understand how things work. If you actually wanted to know stuff, you would go research communism. You'd go research what happens just economically. If someone is not paying for something, that means I have to pay for it to get it fixed. If they're saying that they're giving food for free, who's paying the people that's providing this food? How is it getting there? Oh, it's going to come out of my pockets. So it's never, ever free. Nothing is ever free. But y'all seem to hear the word free, and then y'all sit down and embrace the craziness. They're not going to stop in New York.
Nope.
No. Their goal is to get everywhere. And you see them popping up all over the place in different places throughout the U.S. They're commandeering the blue cities and the blue states. But they're trying to infiltrate, because I told y'all we had a few here right here in Georgia who was trying to run for governor that were part of the DSA. So
but there's enough sane people there that are saying no.
Thank you.
That is the difference.
But a lot of these leftist, blue-haired, septum ring, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs people are trying to move to the South and bring their bad habits to the South.
They're doing it on purpose.
That's the method.
That is my problem. They're trying to get rid of the bodegas. They're trying to get rid of the corner stores. Listen, I used to live for a good corner store. That's what they're trying to do. Just want y'all to understand that, because y'all say that we're the slaves. No, y'all are the slaves because y'all agreed to all of this foolishness. It's time for y'all to wake up, especially the body of Christ in New York, who sits there and say, I am not going to vote. I'm not going to get involved because I'm not supposed to be in politics. I'm just sojourning through.
Amen.
to eternity, but this is where you live right now. You're
Right.
you're exiled in this life right now. So since you're in this life right now, you're supposed to be trying to protect the welfare of the nation that you're
Right.
currently living in. Therefore, that means you're supposed to get up and go out and vote, because when you don't vote, evil takes over. Wherever
Right.
God's kingdom is not residing, please understand, Satan's kingdom is taking over. Get up and stop being lazy. Get up and do something. Stop letting evil take over. That is your fault. Wake up.
I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts on any of this? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. The link's in the description box below. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, it can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. In the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.